A very good day to all of you. Hope you're doing well and fine. I'm Amaya Fernando.
And I'm Davin Yahatagara.
And I am Nadir Ranasinghe.
We are currently in 12th grade representing Gateway College Negombo, Sri Lanka to present to you our project, an esports tournament virtualized. Our principal goal for carrying forth this project was about connecting young gamers from the western province of Sri Lanka to take part amidst the great pandemic. Us three, along with 15 other colleagues, opted to push past the obstacle and conduct the tournament. Our vision and mission towards the project were to have a successful and well-ordered event with little or no complications, thereby effectuating our main course of breaking isolation during the pandemic and creating ways to interconnect and have social connections without the need to have a physical union. Being able to work as a team on a project, build relationships, and organize an event seemed to be so precious at the time where we needed to bond. Adapting to such a situation and being optimistic amongst COVID-19 for a good cause gratified us, giving us and the participants a way to be opportunistic and work our way through the problems that arose during the organizing. After considering the limitations of gathering our players physically, we decided that they should be in their own residences, therefore necessitating us to have a venue for the organizers only. The school auditorium being the ideal location, and the date to commence the event, which was on the 26th of February 2021, was finalized. We then announced the event on all social media platforms such as Instagram and WhatsApp with the requirements to participate, requesting that players should be in groups of 5 to enter. With the basic idea of what we were going to do, we had about 3 weeks to further formulating the event. The organizing batch was divided into 4 committees. Firstly, the administration committee, which oversaw all the formal documentation before the event, the handling of the scoreboard during the event, and the analysis of the feedback forms after the event. Secondly, the technical committee, given the primary role of operating the event after commencing, covering all the required fields of management like the communication of the rules and regulations to the participants and providing help when needed before and during the event. Thirdly, the promotion committee was appointed the duties of marketing and promotion to make an appeal to the common audience and get as many participants as they could. The last committee appointed, being the financial committee, had to maintain a clear understanding of the expenditure and analyze the specificities of how to cover them. They superintended the course of creating and maintaining an overall budget document of all the possible finances and thereby keeping track and having proof of the coverage of the values by the ways of sponsorships and funds. Passing it on to Davin to talk about the committees in detail.
Thank you, Amaya. And now that we are aware of the committees and the task assigned, let's first break into the administrative details. The administration committee's primary goal was to acquire approval from both our teacher in charge and our school principal. In accordance with that, an approval letter was handed over and signed, granting us the permission to pursue with the project. The team had to communicate with the other members, making decisions that were agreed by all, and even made consent letters that were sent to our parents to get their approval as well. Sponsorship letters were also created in order to support the evidences of the sponsorships that were provided, which we will get back to in a minute. Alright, so now the financial details did come up to us as quite the challenge we all expected. There were too many requirements. We needed a whiteboard or a smartboard to fit in the brackets of the winning teams that were moving forward in the tournament. We needed tables and chairs, a constant supply of electricity, and of course a strong Wi-Fi connection to help us communicate with our players. And finally, a suitable location to conduct the event. The school auditorium, as Amaya mentioned earlier, was indeed the first location that clicked onto our minds, as it granted us with most of the facilities that were required. And with permission to use it, we were able to proceed with no issue at all. Obviously, we needed refreshments to boost us during the day, and this is where we got sponsorships from our members. The crucial matter was to strive to make a profit from the tournament, and due to the prevailing situation, the finance committee had to calculate the expenses such as the promised price and the facilities utilized, which were eventually settled by the contributions of our members. This, however, excluding the sponsors. Now, the promotion committee was certainly the most successful committee of all. They were able to snatch the attention of their followers on social media with advertising, by producing powerful and captivating promotion video and posters, which you can see on the screen right now, within the time frame allocated. Our principal did request us to keep it as appropriate to avoid jeopardizing our school, since this was clearly a tournament based on a first-person shooter game, Call of Duty Mobile. Oh well, here's a small preview of our promotion video.
Hear the sound of the bells when the Lord gone, and the boys unleash hell when the war's on. Bloodthirsty when the doors put their paws on. You gon' tell them that they go a little bit of applause on. Put them on the...
Now, with the note of our time constraint and limited resources the core requirement that all tasks assigned were completed and handed over before their closing targets was essential. But yes, some of us did get a little overhand. For example, the finance committee did delay in providing us with the forecasted budgeting documents, which did in turn cause some inconveniences with allowing us to proceed. Anyway, passing this over to Nadal now.
Thank you, David. Since the tournament was conducted virtually, we had to have a good understanding with all the participants to keep everyone updated on the tournament. Along with our coordinators, we agreed to create a WhatsApp group with the team leaders to avoid any miscommunications with the rest of the teammates and organizers. Communication with teammates was resolved since school was held physically, so every batchmate weren't misled with their role in the tournament. Since the tournament was carried out online and not physically, we didn't come across any other problems. We were all prepared for each situation in advance and thereby knew how to handle certain situations. Furthermore, we encountered a major dispute where participants were unaware of the time slots allocated for their matches, since there was a delay in the communication of the finalized times, causing a significant delay in the tournament's progress. As a result, we granted them 10 minutes extra than the time the game was supposed to commence, so that they can figure out their technical difficulties and be present in the tournament. We made sure to inform them that they won't be able to participate if they aren't in time for the match, and the win will be automatically transferred to the remaining team. We couldn't create a match draw according to the deadlines, therefore it didn't allow us to meet the requirements that needed to be met according to the plan. We were able to organize a standard draw with the help of a coordinator just on time. However, since we had our reasons, we managed to explain the situation to everyone and carried the rest of the tournament with a standard kill limit, since it would be equitable for all the teams. Furthermore, I would say that we did encounter some issues. In the beginning of the event, we were supposed to spectate each match held with an existing account. However, the account failed to connect to the game, which eventually didn't give us access. As a result of this, the tournament was delayed by an hour, where we had to make sure we had a spectating account to carry on with the tournament. Another dispute that we came across was that we were running out of time towards the end of the esport tournament. So as a solution, in our last game mode, we carried on with a standard number of wins, then increasing it to a higher rate as mentioned in the rules of how each task was supposed to be conducted. And we were prepared to disqualify the entire team if they did not follow the rules. We determined as a batch with the help of our coordinators that Call of Duty Mobile was the best option because many gamers in the Western Province play the game daily and will thereby find it easier to participate. During the event, we had to keep an eye on the restrictions we put in place, such as the prohibition of legendary weapons in the game and the use of tactical scopes. Each member of our batch assisted one another in keeping track of whether any of the participants were breaking any of the rules. As promised, we awarded the winning team with their well-deserved prize, with each member receiving 400 CP, an in-game purchase that was transferred by online means. The transaction was completed successfully, as evidence with screenshots of the winning individuals confirmed that they had received their gift.
Overall, I think the event was a success and an appropriate project during the pandemic. Although the organization could have been improved. For example, the planning of the time slots and the making of the scoreboard could have been settled beforehand, allowing us to have less communication problems between the organizers and the participants.
I totally agree on how the improvements could have been done. However, everyone did have a satisfactory time and enjoy the event, which is something I personally believe is entailed when organizing the event. All participants battled for their place as number one, thereby not only being enjoyable for them, but for the spectators as well.
From my perspective, I too agree that the event was a success. As a team, we were able to conduct and immediately maneuver ourselves out of the problems faced consequently. To end with, I too think that this event is eligible to be commenced again in the future. And as us organizers, we feel very much valued to have held such a project, as we learned that no matter the distance, we can all still have fun together. Thank you and have a nice day.